Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome, welcome. Oh, well, I gotta tell you all. I mean, I don't, because nobody's currently watching, but I gotta tell you, it's a sad day. And the reason it's a sad day is that this is a goodbye to France. This is going to be the final French Grand Prix that the GR community participates in for a while, I would assume, as this will be goodbye, as yeah, France isn't in the new game, so unless they just, out of the kindness of their hearts, include it, which you know, I'd like to see, but I don't see it happening. Yeah, it's just it's not going to be the same. It's a great track, France, in my opinion, anyway. Oui, yeah, indeed, yeah. So, what a shame. Goodbye to the Gorilla Trophy. It really is the thing that I'm upset about. Paul Ricard has one of the coolest trophies on the calendar, where it's just a gorilla painted with the French flag colours, you know? It's just simple stuff that's effective, you know? You can't argue with it. But here we go. We're in. And hopefully it's a good one to say goodbye to. So, we got the usual players in here, as well as some new faces. We got Diesel back, and Fort Apple, and Not Doolin, and Snoo Corker. It's good to see so many new faces that are coming back for more and more, as the first few cars make their way out onto track. So let's bring up the deets. Let's go telemetry. There we go. Alright, who's out? Snoo Corker leading the pack? It looks like it is. No, it's not. It's Raindrops. That's right. We will keep an eye on both, I think. Both the Williams out. Have to get a bit of French national anthem playing, I reckon, at the end of this one. Makes you patriotic, I assume, if you're French, I don't know. So, talking about the track though, there's it's kind of a weird one, this one, because obviously you got all these huge runoff areas, so the chance the safety car is pretty low, I think. Just like, it's pretty rare that you like hit a wall or something like that. But you got obviously Raindrops running through the lap now, so we will follow on and talk about how it goes. Turn 1 is a quite fast left-hander, usually in 5th. Raindrops comes down to 4th, and then a curb to run. Nice long mini straight into a tricky couple of corners where you have to stay all over the curbs. And then this pretty brutal right-hander that is nice and long and is prime for spinning out on. We have to get all the way to one side for to jump out onto this long DRS straight. And this is where most of our overtaking is going to happen, down into this braking zone here. And if we don't see the overtake in there, we will see it down this next one, which is a nice long straight two. Into a flat right-hander, all the way over on the curb. And another huge, long right-hander, as we can see there, with a fantastic camera angle. Before a left, and this is the higher downforce section of the track where the people that take the higher wings are going to be quicker. It's also the part of the track where the tyres will start to very much warm up and overheat sometimes. So hopefully everyone's got their PSI right, as Raindrop starts us off with a 31.8, and Stu Corker, his teammate, just behind with a 32.2. We also have, who's that just crossing the line on a lap? Is that Aussie dude? No, Aussie dude is seemingly bailed on one. So it's actually Lupe. So we'll follow on board with Lupe and see the lap from a different angle. You can see just how tricky this right-hander really is. You gotta be so careful. You can see Lupe just feathering the throttle before getting to that point where flat is possible. This big straight where Lupe is getting up to 330 k's an hour. Blue Giraffe putting it in second place with a medium tyre lap there. I don't know quite how that's happened, but a crazy good lap. Then we have the right-hander, double right-hander. You're going slowly through the gears here until you... Oh, okay, so Lupe's just got slightly on the power, or on the power slightly early there. But as we see, you know, you can have moments like that and you're pretty much fine. You can safely rejoin the track when possible. And it's all good. As Lupe very kindly waits there for Blue Giraffe to go by. Who's popping into the pits as we speak as well. We would expect Lupe going in there too. Alright, so the current standings have us at Fort Apple leading the pack in the Alpine, which is, you know, that's good to see for the French team. Both the Alpines heading down, not Doolan with a 2 minutes 11. That's probably a second warm-up lap. So we'll follow on with that and see how this ends up for not Doolan. Picking up a little toe there along the first straight. It would be absolutely lovely to see an Alpine 1-2 in quali, with this being the final time we race at France, but you never know. But for Apple putting in a good case right now with the 31.792. Raindrops just behind, about a tenth behind. Where does Doolan manage to go? It's looking pretty good. Into second with a 31.823. So there you go. Maybe things that I say just happen. I don't know. But 1-2 for Alpine right now. Fantastic to see. Aussie dude has put a time in at 32 flat, and that's a 4th place time. Still on track though, so probably running with higher fuel, just getting some laps in. Blue Giraffe though, with the medium time, is very impressive. That's something to be a little scared of if you're in this lobby. Space Pigs and Smoke Dog, both the Ferraris, yet to set a time. Space Pigs is out there as we speak, coming through Sector 3. Has used a little bit of the energy, so hopefully that'll be all back for the lap. Lupe was on for a good time, but just had that incident in Sector 3, so Lupe will get out soon, I imagine. And Tough Kiwi is currently on one, so we're going to sort of flick back between Space Pigs and Kiwi here. So Kiwi coming through this series of corners in the end of Sector 1. Goes purple. Is nice and patient on the throttle onto this back straight. Let's see what kind of speed Tough Kiwi's getting up to. So it's reaching 33.7. Yeah, so 337 there, kph. So a little less rear downforce. Most of them will be running between sort of 17 and 12 in the rear wing. So it really depends where they choose to be quicker. So Tough Kiwi obviously will be a little slower through this Sector 3 with that rear wing, but it's keeping it clean, so maybe it's on for a very good time. You want to get all the way out to the right before this one, so you can cut across. Yeah, Tough Kiwi does a great job there. Misses that apex a little, but gets it pointed in the right direction, which is the important thing. And we'll set a 33.5, so that was a pretty tidy lap there. Definitely has some time to find in that one, just with a couple apexes, but not bad at all. Back to Space Pigs, who is coming through Sector 3. Doesn't seem to be pushing 100%, so maybe had to bail. Yeah, has the energy off, so going straight into the pits. Now that's a tricky pit entrance too. You don't want to be caught speeding coming into that one. It's kind of hidden, so it can be deceptive. Let's go back to Lupe, who's... Oh, let's let's go straight back off Lupe. That was unfortunate timing. That was commentator curse right there. Apologies. But you can see raindrops all over that apex. Just to start off a lap, so not even timed and hitting apexes. Alright, apologies if I am yawning. I'm pretty tired right now. But we will get through it. So raindrops here on this right-hander is pretty much flat through there. I'm not sure how. That's crazy. But it holds the speed all the way down onto the straight. We'll see what kind of top speed raindrops is dealing with. About the 330s. So that seems to be a pretty standard speed for everyone. Has bailed on this one though. He's obviously not happy with the run through that corner. Let's check the teammates. New Corker has just finished one by the looks of it. It's up into third. A lot of people in the 31.8s here. The gap between first and fifth is almost nothing. It's like a tenth and a half or 2/10. It's pretty close field we have here. And even then, the rest of the field is pretty close to that as well. Let's check on Lupe. Lupe, oh god, why does this always happen when I check on Lupe? Lupe's invalidated that one, so he's probably coming around to start. He's going into the pits. We'll we'll see who else we can see. We'll check with Ford Apple and not Doolin just up ahead in prime place to be given a tow. Apologies. Viking is out on track. Don't expect Viking to be setting the time or anything, but possibly just getting his eye in. Oh no, he's coming around. Well, this will be interesting to see. So there we go, Viking turning the energy on, so we could be witnessing a rare event here, a true Viking quali lap. Let's see how it goes. Down into turn 1, cuts all that curb, only cuts a little bit of the next one, which is ideal. It's raised up, so you don't want to be taking too much of it. You want to go all over these curbs, as Viking does so aggressively. Just clips the apex of that one. Carries the speed through here nicely, opens up the throttle, gets a good run down the straight. Let's see the top speed of Viking's car, which I'm sure will put most of the other ones to shame. Does get to 335-ish, so isn't quite as quick as Tough Kiwi, but he's certainly on the higher end of what we've seen so far. After these two straights, we have the double right-hander, shifting slowly through the gears here, letting the engine do the engine braking do the work. Goes into fourth and feathers the throttle through there, gets nice traction. This is a tricky left-hander where you've got to wait and be patient, but Viking is. Gets out wide to open up this next one and bails on the lap. Classic Viking. Thank you. So, no, we almost saw it. I didn't think it was... I thought it was too good to be true. But yeah, we saw most of a Viking quali lap there, so you should all count yourself pretty lucky that you got to see that. That's a rare sight. That's rare as hen's teeth, I'm afraid. Unless it's a sprint race. We don't get to see Viking out there too much. Space Pigs is on a lap though, and will be finishing this one, I'm sure. Is on the back straight. We'll go out of the cockpit though, and get a sense of what's happening on track. Goes down into third for this right-hander. I think fourth and fifth are probably your best bet, carrying speed through there, but it's a big old tease. What's up, G? Hello, fellow G. What's happening? Space Pig's on a lap right now, is what's happening. And this time is... Well, that was a 32, so he sort of just tacks on to that group that's sort of between 2/10 of each other, but as I say that, Fort Apple has put in a time that's 3/10 better than anyone else on track. So both the Alpines still doing wonders to really setting the French team up for a home victory here. Not Doolin as well is about to start one, so the Alpines, Fort Apple will probably get a chance to set another time. This will be not Doolin's final lap though, and same with anyone else that's on track. Oh, Fort Apple might actually not get another time. No, he won't. So there you go. This is the final run of both the Alpines. And we got outlaps from a lot of people too. Noticeably not Smoke Dog, so Smoke Dog will be starting at the back with Viking. Ow. I just kicked my desk. But Not Doolin is, wow, hitting 343 on the straight, so has the lowest downforce that we've seen so far. Definitely leading in the speed trap. We sort of have a lot of people we want to see here, but Purple in Sector 2 is no doubt with that kind of speed. Blue Giraffe has gone back out on medium, so this is an interesting strategy. I don't know if it's a good call or not in terms of getting the best time out, but I don't know, he's right in there, so maybe it is a good call. Save those softs. So here we go, Not Doolin. Can it be an Alpine 1-2? A 130.9 from Not Doolin. Wow. So a full second between first and third now. Or almost a full second. And both the Alpines with about a 5/10 gap between the cars around them. And there's checkered flags pretty much across the board at the front, so this isn't really going to change too much unless Jezza or Blue Giraffe can mix it up a bit. Blue Giraffe about to cross the line on soft tyres. Does do enough to get on the front row, so it won't be an Alpine lockout. It's a 31.5 on the soft tyres for Blue Giraffe. Oops, sorry. Jezza unit now about to cross the line. Is going to get a 32.5, so not an improvement there, unfortunately. The other Red Bull of Tough Kiwi is about to come on down. That is a 4/10 improvement so far. And we will have, is that Lupe just behind? So it does improve by 3/10. Lupe bails on the lap. Aussie Dude goes up into 4th with a 31.6. And that is it. Not Doolan comes in as well. So that'll be the order for quali. Not Doolan in pole position. Alpine at the home race. The home court advantage. With a staggering 30.992. Blue Giraffe comes out, sets one soft tyre run, and puts it in 2nd. And then lining up behind his teammate will be Ford Apple in 3rd. And then Aussie Dude as well. Aussie Dude sort of snuck under the radar a bit that quali. I don't think we got him on the stream at all, but did set some decent laps and made the adjustments towards the end. So there you go. There's the rundown. So 5/10 is the gap between Not Doolan and Blue Giraffe. Could be... Wow, that's a weird... what is going on with that face? Wow. I don't know. That's face like a chewed up toffee, as my mum and dad would say. That's gonna haunt me. Aussie Dude in 4th, Snook Walker in 5th, the Williams back to back with Raindrops in 6th, Jezzy Unit in 7th, Space Pigs in 8th, Diesel in 9th, and Tough Kiwi in 10th, rounding out all those who have set a time. And then we have Smoke Dog and Lupe and Viking. So we could be on for a bit of a cracker here, I think. We've got some very fast drivers that are joining the series and really pushing the Senna series right up there. I mean, it should be right up there with a name like that. With the being named after the greatest of all time, you gotta supply the demand for that, and these drivers certainly are trying to do that. So hopefully, with the new game coming out, we will get rid of the T-pose and mechanics that I love to mention every single race. But there they are, ready to go, trying to assert superiority over the other teams. And with a few seconds left to go, we will get the formation lap underway. So tyre choices here, it's usually a pretty standard one stop. Medium to hard or hard to medium. I think hards to start with are probably what most people will choose. Let's see. Alright, so we do have a bit of a mix actually. We've got the front 4 all looking to gap the field a bit. So that's Doolan, or not Doolan, sorry. I can't believe I made that mistake. Not Doolan, Blue Giraffe, 4 Apple, and that Aussie Dude all on the mediums. And then the rest of the field down till 10th is on hards. So that's Corker, Raindrops, Jezzy Unit, Space Pigs, Diesel, and Tough Kiwi is on the mediums, same with Lupe, who is starting in last. and Smoke Dog and Viking just ahead on the hard tyres. So the people on the hards are going to be really pushing the warm-up lap, trying to get as much heat into them as possible, as we see the weaving happening down the straight. Well, not, you don't see Raindrops doing it, but Raindrops is employing the Kimi Raikkonen strategy for warming tyres. I gotta say though, that Alfa Romeo is a pretty nice looking car, I think. Hopefully the new one looks as good in the game. I haven't yet. It is available to race in the time trial. I've just not bothered with it, so I haven't actually seen it yet. But we have a bit of tussle on track. Blue Giraffe and Not Doolan getting very close together. These drivers should be doing their final tyre prep, whatever they need to do. Blue Giraffe looks to be doing some burnouts. Other drivers are just doing the weave-in. So we have the one stop and the two stops. We shouldn't have anyone on the hards doing a two stop by default, unless there's a safety car. We do have people looking to jump in their pit boxes here, so do have some cars that are slightly out of position. But a fantastic parking job there from Jezza. So here we go. The final French Grand Prix of the GR League. And a slow getaway from the Red Bull there. Doolan comes across to cover off Blue Giraffe. Oh, as it's 3 wide going down into turn 1. There's a little bit of contact, and I think Aussie Dude probably comes off worst out of that. Holds up the Ferrari by coming on to the track, but nothing intentional about that. Just needed to find a place back on the track. It was still going too wide in some places. Not Doolan has already jumped 1.3 seconds, so I'm not really sure how that's happened. There's the insane pace that's currently being shown off. Aussie Dude going side by side a little bit. Has the inside. No, is fully alongside and ahead now, so the two-stop strategy, yeah, that's not going to be factoring into today unless there's a safety car. Snoop Corker pulling to the outside here as 2.2 seconds Doolan has managed to pull out here. Let's ride on board for a few seconds. We're going to see where this pace is coming from, really. Down into third there. Doesn't really get too much of the apex, so yeah, we do see loses a little bit of time through here. So it seems like, you know, that low downforce setup is really going to help in Sector 2, but, you know, is losing a couple tenths through the rest of it. Lupe and Diesel are scrapping. Diesel holds around the outside on the hard tyres, though. It's going to be very tricky, as Lupe does seem to have gotten this move done cleanly. And slots back in. Viking goes for a look up the inside though, and does back out towards the corner approach. So we don't have any fireworks there into turn 1 of lap 2. Aussie Dude though is all over the back of Smoke Dog and is looking to sort of open up this corner to get a good run onto the straight, as we see Smoke Dog really going a little wide there. Is going to compromise the run down, and yeah, Aussie Dude with the clean run has managed to finish that move off. Just got to make sure I don't pull my microphone out accidentally. So Ford Apple is, you know, sticking to the back of Blue Giraffe here. Not Doolan has lost a little bit of time, even through Sector 2 there, so maybe Blue Giraffe just settling in a little bit and putting in some of those laps. Jezzy Unit and Smoke Dog going at it. Jezzy Unit's looking up the inside a little bit, but doesn't quite have the grip to go for it. And it looks like there's been an incident that I've missed somehow. Tough Kiwi and Viking. Viking's going a little wide there, so maybe has some sort of damage Yeah, that's an end plate gone, so that will be a pit stop for Viking, which is unfortunate given that he started on the hard tyres and would be looking to go to the end. It's probably a two-stop soft, it's probably a medium stint now till the end for Viking. We have a very close battle here over 7th place between these drivers as Jezza Unit gets a rough exit there, and Diesel's going to have a look up the inside as well. There's space left, but not quite enough to get through. Does have the inside track for this one. Does look for it as well, but well held by Jezza around the outside there. Keeps it clean and keeps the space open, as we do see Viking in the pits now, and is on the medium tyres. Diesel really pushing with the DRS, and the ERS has the inside and is going to look for it. Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh, a lot of contact it turned into. Jezza Unit tries to hold it. I'm not quite sure about that one. I didn't quite see the full extent of that because of the camera angle. But definitely getting very racy there. Smoke Dog also has picked up a penalty, so that's probably for track limits, I would say. And does have only a small gap to Lupe ahead, who's behind his teammate in Aussie Dude. Ford Apple, though, is doing a good job here. 6/10 is the gap to Blue Giraffe, and he's managing to hold this on and use the DRS. Jezza Unit with a 5-second penalty for that pit lane entrance. Blue Giraffe is, I think, doing a good job here. Didn't panic when he saw that gap open up on lap 1 and has slowly started reeling it back in. Raindrops and Snoo Corker are getting very close together, so these Williams drivers will need to sort out what they want to do. Snoo Corker obviously will not have the DRS, and Raindrops is pushing, so we'll get past his teammate. Hopefully they leave plenty of space. They do. Well, Raindrops is just fully ahead. Blue Giraffe is all over the back here of Ford Apple, who takes the inside. And, Blue Giraffe goes out very, very wide there. Kind of backs out of that move, which is, fair enough. If that's what he thinks is right. Ford Apple did hold that inside line quite well. Aussie Dude and Snoo Cork are going at it now, so Raindrops has very much left the picture now. It's 8/10 up the road, and that leaves Aussie Dude next in line to pick off this Williams car. I think I heard a little contact there, but it doesn't seem like the cars are close enough. We'll ride back on with Aussie Dude, who has 27% of the ERS, missing that apex slightly. Has lost a bit of time to the car in front. We got a lot of teammates though, side by side. The Alpines are together on track, the Williams are together, the Ferraris. So they're on similar tyres as well. Both the Willies are on the hards, and both the Ferraris are on the hards, and both the Alpines are on the mediums. So this is going to be tricky. If there is a safety car, it's going to be messy with who's coming in and who's staying out and who's double stacking. The Viking, though, picking up fastest lap with a 33.8, so has the freshest... no, actually doesn't have the freshest mediums. Jezza has gone onto them too. If we go back a little bit, though, there's a bit of a battle here between Lupe and Tough Kiwi. Lupe gets by. Let's have a look at Snoo Corker, who is coming up to the back of his teammate, so maybe looking to return the favour on that overtake. Ooh, feathering the throttle through there. Hitting the apexes. Both the wheelies are doing a great job there. Does have the DRS. Isn't using any of the battery though, which is wise down the main straight. It's not really an overtaking place. It's more of a setup DRS zone for Sector 1 and the overtaking in Sector 2. Not Doolan has managed to sort of pull that gap back out though, which is pretty interesting. Seemed like he had a really good first lap and then the pace fell off a little bit and now it's returned. We do have action in the pit lane though. Aussie Lupe comes in. No front wing, so that is just a strategy call from Lupe. As we do have some action happening between Ford Apple and Blue Giraffe. Blue Giraffe seemed to get by there and then it's been held by Ford Apple, but now we have the two drivers going side by side. Where is Ford Apple going to look to make this pass? Seeming to hold it around the outside, maybe looking for a better run down here, but hasn't managed it. Is so close though, just 0.3 the gap. So you can tell by this angle that Ford Apple is really holding a lot of speed on entry. Giraffe is getting slightly better exits, I think. Every corner you can see Ford Apple is really lunging up close and then sort of dropping back on exits. So that's just a different approach there in how the corners are being taken. And I don't know, it seems to be working for Blue Giraffe right now. 0.9, 1 second is the gap. Might even be able to break the DRS here as we are coming up to the line. No, won't be able to. So actually lost a ton of time through that sort of final corner. He's burning the energy here for Ford Apple, so we'll move to the inside. Doesn't have the move done though, and he's pretty much out of energy here, so isn't going to be able to get straight on to burning it down this back straight either. As the two Ferraris trade positions going into the chicane in Sector 2. If we head on board with Aussie Dude though, we can see the two Willies up ahead, and Aussie Dude obviously on those medium tyres. So generally I think the medium tyres are going to want to go to about lap 10 or maybe 11 or 12. Really depends when they get the right opportunity to duck in, and there's a window with some clear air behind, and, or maybe they're looking for an undercut or an overcut. It really depends how the race unfolds over the next few laps. But Aussie Dude kind of a little bit stuck behind the two hard tyre runners. They're sharing the DRS, and it's going to make it difficult when you're the third car in a train to really get anything done. You can burn the energy and try and force them into fighting, but they are teammates, so there's no guarantee that that'll work to Aussie Dude's advantage. It might be exactly what the Williams want. For now though, Aussie Dude remains patient. Blue Giraffe is keeping this gap to first pretty stable at about the 2 second mark. Ford Apple is sort of jumping between 0.5 and 0.8, following behind the McLaren. Oh no, some classic Aussie Dude connection issues here. So it has immediately fallen off the back of the two Williams. And we should see Diesel make this move stick pretty easily through here. Oh, let's hope that the AI leaves space. Okay, well, Diesel just does a great job keeping out of the AI's way there. They can be pretty vicious at this track. Viking, though, is that's a name we haven't said for a while. After getting that fastest lap of Pitton, has managed to catch up to the back of Jezza unit. And yeah, we could be on for a bit of a Mercedes Red Bull battle here, at least for a DRS zone. We saw Lupe. Oh no, Lupe in the back has done the old double spin. We won't put the camera on him just because that adds the pressure. Even if you don't know that it's on you, you can feel it. So we don't want to jinx him. Just up ahead, though, is a different Red Bull that has got yellow flags there, so that's an unfortunate situation. The Williams currently closest battle on the track. Let's check in with Viking as he zips by, reaching 336 k's an hour. And we do have the first person to blink. Ford Apple comes in with what I think is a pretty early stop there. That's, well, I guess lap 10 is probably about where you want it. So it could pay off here for Ford Apple. Let's see what kind of gap he comes out in. I think he's going to be right behind both the Ferraris. So this is obviously where a safety car is very detrimental to Ford Apple's race. This is a similar situation that happened in the Mansell France race, where some drivers had started on the mediums and they pitted, including myself, and then the safety car came out and we lost a bunch of time. So the tyre warm-up is not easy around here. You got these big straights to do a little weaving on though, as we will just check in with Lupe to see how Lupe's going. So Not Doolin has gotten in front of Blue Giraffe and broken the DRS here. We're going to see who decides to pit though. Is somebody going to try and stay out and make a better use of the tyres, or what are we doing? No, well, Blue Giraffe will stay out, but Not Doolin will come in, so we do have different approaches to this one. The Alpine's getting the fresh boots on early. The McLaren waiting and waiting and waiting, hoping for maybe a safety car or a better window. Let's quickly check in with Jezzy unit though, who is close on track with Viking, who's kind of pulling him up to his teammate here, Tough Kiwi. It's between this and the Willies right now, the battles to really watch. Not Doolin has come out ahead of his teammates, Ford Apple, but has much colder tyres, so you can see Ford Apple is closing this gap up and up and up. Yeah, 2 seconds just in the first sector, but that'll be the worst of it over with. So staying out is the way to go. If Blue Giraffe pits this lap and has a good in lap, it could be a race-winning strategy. In all fairness, 10 laps on the mediums is not a crazy amount. As we see the Viking just about to make a pass on Tough Kiwi down that DRS straight where Viking excels. So Blue Giraffe comes in. Is this going to be a quick pit stop? Is it going to be the overcut? The staying out in the hopes of finding a better out lap. We do have Not Doolin though in traffic right now, up on the back of a old tyre Ferrari. So this is definitely costing time. Ford Apple has not yet caught up to Doolin, or Not Doolin. And Blue Giraffe is leaving the pits, so a combination of coming in a little early, I think, and running into this traffic does mean that Not Doolin and Ford Apple have both missed out or dropped a position here to Blue Giraffe, who will have better tyres now until the end. But it is only 1.6 seconds, and it is dropping and dropping and dropping. 1.5 now. Coming around this right-hander, it'll be 1.4, 1.3, using the energy, 1.2. So these colder tyres are going to be a struggle, and they could end up straight in a battle here as Ford Apple makes a move past this Ferrari. Oh, little contact there. Ford Apple and Smoke Dog coming together. Not ideal if you're either driver, really. Looked like a little bit of a misunderstanding about who was going to be backing out of that one. Who was going to be moving over. But Blue Giraffe, while on the better tyres and in the better position, is not going to be benefiting from the DRS. Has a much superior amount of... Much superior? I don't know if that really makes sense, but... more is what I'm trying to say. More ERS. Aussie Dude coming in too, so 11 laps is about as much as Aussie Dude can stand. Willie's up ahead. Still close together on track, so able to use the DRS to manage. Diesel looking to get in on that action as well. Still following the two Willies. Ford Apple, though, is struggling to close the gap to his teammate. So was in first, came in first, has the oldest tyres, and seemingly is struggling to close up. 3 seconds is the gap, and it's only getting bigger right now. Missing out on the DRS, and Blue Giraffe's getting it as well from the Ferrari ahead, so sees the blinking light, and this Ferrari will be pitting soon. Doesn't want to compromise the race getting around him, but also doesn't want to get held up, so what happens here is anyone's guess. Viking and Aussie Dude scrapping a bit down into the braking zone at the straight. This will be good for Ford Apple, though. If these cars get held up by this Ferrari, it will give them a chance to come back on to the come into the battle, rather. Blue Giraffe is not interested in waiting around, though. Gets on the energy and blitzes past on the straight. The Ferrari tucks in behind. And Blue Giraffe has an opportunity here. He's got the ERS advantage and could potentially try and make a move to get this gap out as far as possible. If Doolin can't manage to get by here, that would be a disaster for the Alpine strategy. 3.4 seconds for Apple's now, so hasn't even managed to close up the gap. And Not Doolin is also completely out of energy here, but not out of speed. So we'll get past pretty simply. Space Pigs, though, is going to have a great exit here, and does have more energy. Isn't going to be able to fight back, though. We're just going to quickly ride on board with Tough Kiwi and talk about this. So you'll notice that the colour on these tyres is not yellow or white or red. It's green. Now that means that Tough Kiwi has had a rough pit stop. It means that Tough Kiwi has hopefully not chosen the intermediate tyres, but is now lumped with them. So we'll have to do hopefully just one lap on these and then change them. But you know, he's not doing too bad, all things considered. Let's see how he hits this one. Yeah, good. I mean, it's not, it's not quick, obviously. But No, Viking comes in, so Viking's going to make the second pit stop onto another set of mediums. And we'll be on the fastest tyre all the way to the end here. And potentially coming onto this medium slightly earlier than these front runners. Or even people like Space Pigs and Smoke Dog that are on the old hards might get a chance to close that gap up slightly. Diesel has now completely closed the gap onto the two Willies, so now this sort of alternate strat. Well, actually, it's kind of the main strategy is starting hard. So the main strategy goers, Raindrops, Snoop Corker, and Diesel, are all together on track and all in each other's DRS business, as we see Diesel going straight on there, but making the pit stop, not crashing or anything. And so this is going to be tricky now, because these two Williams will not be able to pit on the same lap, and one of them will get undercut by Diesel, I imagine. It really depends, though. We saw how powerful the overcut can be, so we'll see if it works out. Well, Diesel gets a new front wing, so that's that talking point sort of straight away knackered. Snoop Corker also picks up a time penalty for track limits, so that makes it difficult. The Ferrari of Space Pigs comes in, and Viking is right on the back of Aussie Dude on fresh rubber. And Not Doolin has kind of dropped off the back here of Blue Giraffe. Two seconds is the gap, and you know, not much longer to go in this one. We're well past halfway. They are on the tyres that they will take to the end, and it's not a good sign so far for the Alpine. They started so strong in quali and in the first few laps, and then it's Snoop Corker's had a rough lap. That's 8 seconds of penalties racked up in the one go. Or one go around the track anyway. We'll go all the way to the end here. Oh no, Blue Giraffe has come off. And has gotten a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. I don't see how that's fair. I've never even seen a 5-second penalty for cutting corners. Like, what is that? It's either 3 or it's... Well, that's it, you know. Oh, well, this is no good. So now has to deal with the penalty applied after the race, and is has let one Alpine by. Probably has slightly warm tyres, so Ford Apple could be looking to make this up pretty much straight away. Aussie Dude's back in the action, apparently. I'll believe that when I see it. So yeah, not really sure what the go is here. Viking with the fresh tyres has done a 33.2 and has burnt pretty much all of the battery. But Raindrops, staying out there, is currently, you know, doing not bad at all. Even on his way into the pit, was still gaining, or still increasing the gap to Not Doolin, so we'll see how this shakes out. Raindrops obviously will be coming out on the preferred tyre to the end, and we'll only have 10 laps to go, so it will be very quick. Is he going to come out? They're still changing him, though. It's taking a little while. If you can tack onto the back of Ford Apple, then that is very good. Does lose the spot to his teammate as well, so it's going to be a bit of a stretch for Raindrops, but on those fresh mediums, it's definitely doable. Stu Corker's right in there as well, obviously with the penalty. Diesel too, just picking up one. Snoop Walker though, 1/10 up in the first sector. Viking gets by Smoke Dog in the pit, so Viking's on a bit of a charge now. 12 seconds is the gap ahead. It is coming down. Probably not enough, but there are penalties up ahead, and with a safety car, it could be that Viking can make up a lot of spaces. Safety car not looking too likely though right now. All the cars are very much politely spaced, I would say, is the descriptor right now. No DRS to be had across the board. Ford Apple's still the closest car to another one on track, although Raindrops and Snoop Walker are going to be added soon. 33.0 there, fastest lap for Diesel. I thought that Viking had a 32 something this before, but obviously that was my mistake. Ford Apple is making some improvements to the lap times. Raindrops is really closing up now though. He's looking to get this DRS as soon as possible. And the gap ahead is not insurmountable in the next 8 laps for Raindrops. He's a very quick driver. Has the pretty big tyre advantage. Oh man, the Ornan is coming in thick and fast right now. Not because of the quality of the racing, just, you know, busy. Raindrops at 1.1. Snook Walker at 1.1. Diesel looking to just tack on to the end of this too. So, I don't know, with these medium runners coming up to these hard runners, it could be a bit of a banger finish here. We've got quite a few cars that are sort of just trying to creep into that DRS zone. And if a train forms, well, it's going to bring everyone closer together, that's for sure. Not Doolan in front on 28%. Blue Giraffe with the time penalty on 37. Ford Apple on a pretty low 15%. Snook Corker on 40. Raindrops and Diesel on about 29 and 40 respectively. And Diesel has made up the DRS zone. And so has Raindrops. So we'll just ride on board just to get a sense of sort of what the pack is doing right now. Diesel is obviously closest and on the back of it. But these medium tyres definitely are closing up. We get a message in the chat by Lupe. Yeah, it looked like a rough one, Lupe. I'm not going to lie. It did look like a rough one for you. Diesel doing a great job though here. Really closing this gap up. It's obviously all to battle for between the drivers with penalties, if they're on equal penalties. Raindrops is going to hope to get through the penalty drivers as cleanly as possible. But the front two cars are in sight here. Diesel pushing down the main straight. Getting by. Or not quite, has the inside, but Raindrops very expertly holds it around the outside. Tough Kiwis getting blue flags, I think. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Raindrops and Diesel. No damage by the looks of it. And Raindrops will have the DRS on this next rundown, but Diesel won't. So there's the blue flags getting out of the way. Tough Kiwi in a bit of a sketchy one. But found the space to move over where needed. Up ahead, though, we get battles between Ford Apple and Snoop Corker. This is not what Ford Apple wants, with the penalties all around him. Blue Giraffe still pushing to try and close up to Not Doolin. This is turning into a bit of a close finish here between some cars with penalties. Let's just check what the go is. So Blue Giraffe obviously with 5 seconds. Snoop Corker with 8, so 8 seconds definitely makes it hard. But 3 seconds for Diesel. So really, front three, Ford, Apple, Raindrops, and Not Doolin right now. And the rest will have to pick up what they can, as far as sorting out the penalties after the fact goes. Blue Giraffe has really closed this gap up. Snoop Corker is slightly dropping off the pace here, with that penalty. But these sort of 4 or 5 cars here that we see, Raindrops, Diesel, and Ford Apple, and Corker, they're all very much close together. Or a few cars going wide there, and a few getting that sort of snap of oversteer on that right-hander before this straight. DRS train is enabled. All of them burning. Oh my god. Diesel cuts to the outside. Tries to hold it. Turns into the inside. A little bit of contact. Raindrops sees the opportunity to go around the outside. It's 3 wide going down the back straight. He tucks back in to see if he can get a slipstream. Finds it. Tries to cut to the inside and backs out. So doesn't want to get caught up too much in these penalty shenanigans. Obviously the cars in front, well, Ford Apple is very much a car to overtake, but has the better tyres, so doesn't want to get sort of taken out or caught up in an incident by people with penalties. Hitting that apex though, getting a fantastic drive. Doesn't quite have the top speed to be making inroads, but Diesel certainly does. Diesel is absolutely booking it down these straights. Hitting apexes as well, as we saw Snoop Corker kind of go out a little wide. Light flashing ahead shows Diesel that he has slightly more ERS, maybe by 1% or 2. He's going to give Snoop Corker the hurry along though with this DRS zone coming up. We're on lap 23 of 27. Snoop Corker goes all the way to the left to break the toe, which is perfectly fine. Raindrops will get this move done very cleanly, so this is good news for Raindrops. He's managed to clear a car nice and safely. Ford Apple will want to hold on to the back of Raindrops and sort of get towed past. What's happening with Diesel though? Closing up. So much top speed. Looks to the inside. Okay, doesn't commit to it, just sort of shows Snoop Corker the front wing. Lets him know, hey, I'm here. Has the superior battery right now. Why do I keep saying superior? I don't really know where that's coming from, but 20%, light flashing ahead, so has at least a 10% advantage, maybe even almost a 15. Hits a beautiful apex there. What a turn in by Diesel. Gets a good run. And up front, there is a change in leadership. Diesel gets by as well. There's action happening all over the place. We've gone from a couple laps of snoozing to the whole thing just kicking off now. Raindrops looking to get involved in this as soon as possible. So Not Doolin, effectively race leader when penalties considered. Raindrops in effective 2nd place and Ford Apple in effective 3rd. We have all things to play for still though between quite a few drivers. Raindrops especially is the only medium runner without a penalty in the top 5, so wants to get by some people. to have a look at Doolan. Needs to close up this gap though. This DRS gap. Viking making inroads as well, looking to pick up a 7th place. Have a look as he pulls out to the inside. Very clean move done there by Viking. As we head back to the front of the pack now, 2nd place, Doolan has run a little wide, cuts back in. And that has cost time to the leader, and most importantly, time to the cars behind. It's not really under threat from Diesel, who has the penalty, but that train goes all the way back to Raindrops, who will be threatening. Ford Apple Pits is on the back of that pack, so is really there's no reason not to pit for softs and go for a fastest lap. That's a smart move there by Ford Apple. Did his job of holding cars up. Diesel, though, is so far in the gearbox of not Doolan that this could be pretty disastrous here. Oh, we do have yellow flags in Sector 2. This is not good for not Doolan. Not good, not Doolan. Those hard tyres are struggling, I think. Puts him 1 car closer to Raindrops. So we are finishing off lap 23 now. We will be 2 laps to go once Blue Giraffe crosses the line. Not really sure how this one's going to shake out. Not Doolan, still effective leader. We'll check back in with the penalties once more. So Snoo Corker with that 8 seconds is pretty much guaranteed a 5th. Blue Giraffe right now is sitting in 5th after that penalty. Diesel might be able to hold on to a few spots with only 3 seconds. So there's good reason for wanting to be as far up as possible when you've only got 3 seconds of penalties to add on at the end. But pretty much all the cars now have sort of slipped down into that 1 second mark. Raindrops is going to get the DRS here, uncontested in front by Snoo Corker, who will not have it. Ideally, wants the teammate to move away. Oh, Diesel's run wide there at the chicane and has sort of exited over the curb. So has a bit of a rough exit. The toe is going all the way back now to the Willies. So that does give not Doolan a little bit of breathing space. Oh my god, I don't know what happened there. There was a bit of desync, but as we head back a little bit, Jezzy Unit and Smoke Dog are getting very racy. Oh. Viking just goes straight past both of them. Up in the 8th. Not sure there was a bit of a gentleman's argument there where one of them was saying after you and the other one was saying no sir, after you. And Viking was like, no worries, I'll go through there. Obviously on the softs, so no reason to hold him up. He's in a different game right now. Not Doolan picks up a 3 second penalty. Oh no. So that puts Blue Giraffe back into a good position here. 3 seconds is the gap. And yeah, with only 2 seconds discrepancy in the penalties between them, Blue Giraffe is straight back up into contention here. With just pure penalties behind and working on a big gap. I don't know that there's going to be much anyone can do about this. Raindrops is in a good spot. Needs to, let's bring up the gap to leader. So Raindrops now at 4.4, needs to keep it under 5 seconds for a race win. That's pretty much all we are currently looking for right now. The rest of the drivers, well, on track, Diesel and... Oh, Blue Giraffe spins as well! 11 seconds for Snoo Corker. Raindrop's guaranteed a win here. What's going to happen between Not Doolin and Diesel, though? Is Diesel going to pick up a second? Gets the run. Has the energy. Has the DRS. Oh, it's so close. 8 hundredths of a second between them in the end, I think. 8 hundredths of a second. Raindrops picks up the win in the Williams at France. Not Doolin picks up a second place for Alpine in the final GR race at France. Yes, yes, yes in the chat. Absolutely. That was a photo finish there on the line. And Raindrops with an impressive drive. Just keeping it clean, keeping between the lines. And comes from like 6th 2 laps ago to pick up a first place. What the hell? Blue Giraffe spinning at the end there. Viking picks up fastest lap with a 32.1 and picks up 8th place. So just to run through the order again, we've got Raindrops in first, Not Doolin in second, and Diesel rounding out the podium. Only just losing out to Not Doolin by 8 hundredths of a second. Which is pretty crazy. Driver of the day is Diesel. Not a bad choice there. Diesel had an impressive drive. Unfortunate to pick up a penalty there. Would have been in first place. But getting a podium is not bad at all. Snoo Corker somehow managing to finish 4th with 11 seconds of penalties. Blue Giraffe with an unfortunate incident just before the second to last corner. Will drop down to 5th. Then it's Ford Apple, Space Pigs, Viking, and Jezzy Unit. And Smoke Dog picking up points. And the 2 Astons with a rough race. Lupe and Aussie Dude in 11th and 12th. And Tough Kiwi down in 13th. So everyone finished, which is good to see. That's a pretty rare thing to say. So that's the end of France. France is no more. We are leaving this place and never coming back, unless, in their infinite wisdom, Codemasters decides to pop that in as a DLC track. Even if they do, we probably won't race there in the leagues. So, yeah, goodbye, France. It's been nice. Actually, I've had a terrible time here. It's been some hard races for me. It's always raining in Schumacher, but you know, it's not a bad track. So we hope to see it again at some point. So next we have, I think we're skipping a few. Why can I not leave? We're skipping a few races, I think, in the actual calendar. I'm just going to check what we have next. Let's see. Where are we? Senna, here we go. So, France, straight skipping over Hungary, which is good, to Belgium, then Zandvoort, then Monza, then Japan, USA, then Brazil, Abu Dhabi. So not too many races to go until approximately when the new game will be coming out. So there we go. That was a very good race there. A bit of a banger at the end there with a slow build up. So thanks for tuning in if you did, and congratulations to those that participated and excelled in that one. I'm just going to check, who was that? Oh, it was Raindrops in the chat saying yes. Oh, congrats, man. Well done. That was a good race from you. It's Raindrops in the chat saying, oh no, yes. What have I done? Oh. I've opened the stream to look and now it's playing. Anyway, I'm out. See yous.